A lot of people are working harder than they ever have right now and still feeling like they're falling behind. And honestly, I think that's why so many middle class Americans feel financially trapped. Not lazy, not stupid, not irresponsible, trapped. Quick disclaimer though before we get into today's video, this video is just my own personal opinion and my personal experiences. I'm not a financial advisor, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing how I personally view money, investing, and financial freedom. But seriously, look around right now. Groceries cost more, insurance costs more, rent costs more, homes cost more, cars cost more, and utilities cost more. Even basic life feels expensive now. And meanwhile, most people's paychecks didn't magically double. That's the part that creates the pressure. Because when the cost of living rises faster than your income, you slowly start feeling stuck, no matter how hard you work. And I think that's where a lot of people are mentally right now. They're exhausted. Not because they aren't trying, but because it feels like the finish line keeps moving further away from them. Years ago, the middle class dream felt a lot simpler. Get a stable job, buy a house, raise a family, retire eventually. Now, even people making decent money still feel financially stressed. And I think the biggest reason is this. Most people were taught how to work for money, but not taught how to make money work for them. And that changes everything. Because eventually there's a limit to how much harder you can work. You only have so many hours in a day, right? That's why I became obsessed with investing and ownership. Because I realized something really important. Wealthy people usually don't rely on earned income. They own assets. They own businesses, stocks, real estate, cash flow producing investments. Their money starts working alongside of them. Meanwhile, most middle class people are told to just keep grinding harder forever. And I think that's one of the biggest financial divides happening today. The divide between people who own assets and people who rely only on labor, because assets tend to rise with inflation. Stocks rise, real estate rises, businesses raise prices, but wages often move slower, and they are right now. And over time, that gap compounds massively. That's why I think more people are waking up now. You're seeing growing interest in investing and dividend income and financial independence and side hustles and business ownership and real estate and passive income, because people are searching for control again. They're searching for freedom. And I don't even think most people want to become ultra rich. I think most people just want some breathing room. They want to stop stressing over every bill, stop feeling trapped by debt, stop worrying about every time inflation spikes. They want options, and options come from ownership. And that's why I document my own investing journey publicly on this channel. And it keeps me accountable to myself. It's not to flex numbers, not to pretend I have everything figured out, but because I want people to see what consistency actually looks like over time. Because most wealth building is honestly boring. It's repeating the same habits over and over. Investing consistently, learning constantly, improving your income, avoiding lifestyle inflation, buying assets repeatedly. That's usually it. It's simple. But the problem is most people quit before compounding ever has time to change their life. Because in the beginning it feels slow. You invest a few $100s and nothing changes. You invest a few $1,000s and still nothing feels different. But eventually there's a shift. The portfolio starts growing faster. The dividends grow. The gains grow. The momentum grows. And you start realizing why wealthy people stay invested for decades. Because eventually money begins working harder than you do. And once somebody experiences that, their entire mindset changes. That's where I think the frustration comes from today. A lot of people feel like they're doing everything right, but the system rewards ownership more than it does labor. And unfortunately, most people were never taught that early enough in their life. Some still don't know it. I really believe the next 10 years are going to create a massive financial separation between people who own assets and people who don't. And I'm not saying that to sound negative. I'm saying it because I genuinely think more people need to wake up to it now. The good news is you do not need to be rich to start building wealth. Most people think investing is only for wealthy people. That's 100% false. You can start small. I started small. That's exactly what I did. Small investments eventually become larger investments. Small dividends become bigger dividends. Small portfolios eventually compound into serious money over long periods of time. The hardest part is usually surviving the early phase where progress feels invisible. That's where discipline matters the most. And I think the people who learn patience and ownership and long term thinking now are going to completely change their financial future over the next decade. A lot can happen in 10 years. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. Follow the real journey to $1 million and beyond here on this channel because I'm documenting the entire process in real time. Everything. The wins, the mistakes, the psychology behind everything, the investing, the mindset shifts, everything. I'll see you guys in the next video.